Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to If You Want to Achieve Anything Extraordinary in Tantra with subtitles. You know, extraordinary to me used to mean something special. Then when you break it down, extraordinary means more ordinary. I don't know. Anyways, let's go and give this video a shot.
In Tantric practice, one of the prerequisites is Guru devotion. If you don't have Guru devotion, you will not accomplish anything that's extraordinary. And if you don't have Guru devotion, you know what happens? If you have a Guru, and you disappoint your Guru, you upset your Guru, you lie to your Guru, you trick your Guru, you always say no, you always avoid work. In front, you kiss ass. Behind, you just do what you want. You loiter, and you just trick your Guru all the time. Although he gives you so much love, compassion, teaching, time, effort, help, how are you going to accomplish anything because you're that type of person? On a normal sense. If you're that type of person, how do you accomplish anything? One. Two, when you persistently have your Guru remind you of things over and over and over again, you know what that shows you? Your extreme stubborn nature. So if you're so stubborn to make even your Guru remind you of the same thing over and over, how can you achieve higher practices when you're stubborn? Stubbornness closes off knowledge. Thirdly, the Guru is essential in Tantric practice because it is understood that the Guru has achieved or understands the path in those practices. So that when you do those practices, if obstacles arise in your practice, the Guru will be on hand to guide, to help, to instruct, to direct for you to reach your goal. So it is understood that a Guru that's advanced in the practice or has compassion towards you, every instruction that the Guru gives you leads you to some sort of path that brings you to enlightenment. So if you keep resisting, fighting, going against, what happens? You destroy your chances of enlightenment. What in this world is actually free? Emotionally, monetarily, what is actually free? Only those with compassion offer everything for free. And you can notice people who go against their Guru. Yeah, they go to the 3 lower rounds, whatever. You can't really see that. But in their life, you can see a lot of things go wrong and bad. You know why? We can take the magic away. Because when they're so resistant and fighting and hurt a person that helps them so much, and that has the potential to bring them out of suffering, and they fight and they resist, of course other things will go wrong in their life because they're not going to meet many people like that. And when they meet people of a lesser standard, a lesser type of mind, they will fight them faster and quicker and create more problems for themselves. So you can notice people who find their Guru go against them. They abandon their Guru. They're what kind of life they have, how they suffer even more, and the kind of people they meet entrap them, hold them, and make them worse. Why? If you can act like that with a Guru that cares so much, you can act like that with anyone. And when you act like that with enough people, they will turn on you. Because you know what makes you suffer? Not the Guru, not the karma, if you don't believe that. Your attitude. Your attitude.
What makes you suffer? Your attitude? I guess the cause of your suffering would be your attitude. And I'd say what causes you to suffer is your choices in life. So like if you, of course, lie to people, treat people badly, those are your choices that you made to do to those people. And what caused it is your attitude towards people, towards things, towards your duties, your job, your friends, your family, the people around you.
Very clear and concise. And on a spiritual level, who teaches you the Dharma? Many things you read in books you don't understand. The statues are silent. There are many monks and sangha out there, but you don't have the affinity to be taught. But if you have a Guru that actually takes the time, makes the effort, and makes the situation available, and makes all the facilities, all the conditions conducive for you to learn and advance, and you don't take advantage of that, why wouldn't you go to the 3 lower rounds? Why not? Because you're not doing anything about it. You're going there anyway, most of us. And that reflects your state of mind and who you are and what kind of person. And you actually deserve to go there because you're making your way. So if you can lie to your guru, trick your guru, break your guru's word, break your promises to him, disappoint her, hurt her, lie, make her tell you things over and over, again and again and again, that reflects your mind, who you are. And if you don't believe he's advanced in his practice on a very normal level, what kind of person are you that disappoints a person and hurts a person that does so much for you? So that's why when you help the guru, you collect a great amount of merit if you choose that path. Or if you help the guru, you assist in any way, shape, or form. If you help in cleaning, in managing, in writing, in finances, in whatever, you help. What you're doing is you're helping every person you will touch in the future. And the more easier you make his work or her work, the more people they can reach to help. And that's the reason we serve our gurus. Very simple. Why do you give donations to the Red Cross, the Salvation Army? Because you're not able to reach, 1 million refugees. They can. So you give it to a vehicle that can do it for you, and it's equivalent. Because they need your help to help. You need their help to help. Very simple. So the only reason we follow a guru and we do the work conscientiously without getting on the guru's nerves and finishing on time and without making excuses. Why? Because you make it easy for them to do more. So you are actually donating your old clothes, your old shoes, your old whatever, your money, your help, your time, and energy toward Salvation Army Guru, who brings it to others. And that's why you serve your guru. That's the reason. And every time you say no to your guru, every time you say I can't to my guru, every time you lie, every time you take his energy away for something you've been told 100 times, every time you do that, you know what happens? Take his time and energy away from people he can help, and therefore you collect that karma.
I guess a little bit quick there. Say that I can't. I'll put a stipulation to that. I mean, if you can't, you can't. Obviously, you can't. You say you can't because you really can't. Now, he did stipulate at the end that if you lie, it doesn't matter whether you can or cannot. When you lie, you lie, you lie. So if you say you can't, if you're lying, then it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter if you say you can't because you're just straight up lying. If you can and you lie, it doesn't matter whether you can because you're just lying again. So to me, saying you can't, hopefully, obviously, if you're not lying, then that would be kind of weird to say, oh, I'm collecting bad karma because I really can't do that, So I hope there's a stipulation there that obviously, don't lie. 100% agree with that. If you say you can't, hopefully that the guru understands that you can't do that, but obviously you have to have a good reason. Perhaps, maybe you're struggling. Maybe it is something that it goes against your morals or something like that, and maybe it's something that you can work towards. I don't know. It is very, how do you say, situational. So I don't know what it is that you cannot do, but if you genuinely mean it, then I don't think you should collect bad karma for that.
An analogy, an example. If you take advantage of your employer, and your employer is a great doctor, and he has to go for surgery and save a lot of people, and you forget to do this, you forget to do that, you lose his car keys, you forget where his medical bag is. When he asks you things you don't know, I don't know, and you slow him down. Maybe by the time he gets to the hospital, the person died. And that's what you do to the guru. Every time you slow the guru down, every time you say, what? I don't know. Every time the guru gives you an assignment, you can't do it, you don't do it, you don't want to do it, you make excuses, you actually let someone die. And that's
Whoa, it's a bit extreme there.
make excuses,
you actually let someone die. That's a bit much, I will say. I agree with him in terms of that. If a guru depends on you to do certain things and you volunteer your time or you agree to do the guru's work, then yeah, a guru will depend on you to do certain things. Absolutely, I can agree with you there. Where I don't know about people are dying because you slow down gurus. No, you're wasting his time, the guru's time, and you're you are taking away time that he could be given to someone else for sure, but you actually let someone die. That's a bit extreme, that's a bit much, but I get the idea of what he's trying to say. If, especially again, if you volunteer time to the guru, you want to make sure everything's going according to time. That way you're not wasting time, wasting the guru's time, or wasting anyone else's time, and everyone's on time.
Someone died. And that's why we serve our guru. Every time you give a lame excuse, you're letting someone die. It's very simple. Every time you slow your guru down, you let someone, since I'm slowing you down, let me escape, let me run, let me go. Sure you can. But you see, then you underestimate your guru. Why do you trust your guru to be a Buddha and receive teachings and initiations? But when he gives you practical assignments, you can't. Why is it for initiations and teachings he's a Buddha, and you believe he has wisdom and clairvoyance, and you eloquently spurt out the qualities of your guru to other people? But yet in practice, you don't believe that about him. So you contradict yourself. And that contradiction within yourself creates your suffering. Why? Because you're contradictory with everything you do. Do you want a girlfriend? You don't. Do you want a condition? Do you want to commit it? Do you don't want to be committed? Do you want to be good? Do you want to be not good? Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? You're uncommittal in everything. It's symbolic of who you are. And when you're uncommittal in everything you do, you are where you are. Nowhere. Nowhere. Because the guru is a clear reflection of you. Clear. Supposedly he has a training like a psychiatrist to show you who you are. If a psychiatrist can heal you, why not a guru? He practices a higher science. Then on a spiritual level, if he foresees something happening to you, if he knows something happening to you, and he's advanced in his practice, and you don't listen, something happens, just be quiet. Why do you have a guru? And that's what we need to think. So in tantric practice, such as the highest tantra, such as Amitai Sukhasara, without the pivotal faith and practice of guru devotion, true guru devotion, not fanatical, true, you will not get accomplishments. You will not get higher. You won't even get teachings to go higher. So what happens is if you don't have guru devotion at this stage, and especially after you receive initiation, Vajrapani, Manjushri, Hiruka, Vajrapani, if you don't have faith in your guru and you have received initiation, you're actually walking down the mountain continuously. Why is that? Someone with a Harvard degree and someone without on the streets, which one will look down on more? Very simple. I graduated from Harvard cum laude, and then he's on the streets doing nothing because I can't do anything. Very simple. Whereas someone has no education, came from a kampong and hanging out on the streets and he's selling ciggy buds, you go, oh, I understand. Which one are you looking at? Someone who has a guru, gives instructions, gives initiations, you know the practice, you know what's doing. I can't. You think? Someone who has no instructions, a new person comes along, they're rude, they're mean, fine, they challenge the teacher. Nobody will look down on them. The teacher won't look down on them. It's like the guy from the kampong. Never mind. In fact, it gives the teacher a chance to show you his skill and compassion to tame that person with time. To tame. With skill, wisdom, compassion, and effort, and giving, and patience. With the 6 paramitas, the guru will tame that person who is wild, who is obnoxious. That will show you the skill of the Lama and his great compassion. So that's why we respect the guru. On the bottom line. And then when we go into tantric practices, when we have that type of respect for our guru, you see what happens is when you do tantric practice, you don't live with your guru and hang out much anymore. You're pretty much independent. You already have your students and you're already advanced. You know, you hang out in the cave. You may even get a letter once in a while from your guru, whatever, and then you follow it, just like you followed when you were under his tuition. You will advance very fast. If you read the great biographies of the lamas and masters and teachers, even apprentices in the worldly arts such as craftsmanship and woodworking and all that, carpentry, once they study with their gurus and they're on their own, sometimes they have confusion about this order. They go back to their senior carpenters or teachers and they ask, oh, thank you. They're on their own already. So if you don't start, you don't finish. And if you continuously fool and lie and fight and go against your teachers, what happens? On the spiritual path, you won't finish. How can you always challenge out of laziness and lameness, if you challenge out of laziness, you don't get anywhere. If you question and ask out of curiosity and knowing and wisdom and wanting to learn and you're thirsty, that's merit. That's merit. But if you challenge out of laziness because you didn't accomplish and you want to cover, and that's demerit. Demerit for you. So in the highest tantric practices, Guru devotion is the pith. It's an essential and it's a prerequisite. Why? The Guru will compassionately show you how to become enlightened. Put up with your crap, put up with your difficulties, help you with compassion, guide you, absorb your stupidities and your lack of awareness, ours. Absorb your excuses and your anger. Absorb your cover-ups and accept you for what? Accept you for the potential you have in you, which is to become a Buddha.
I said it's a bit harsh of a language, but your stupidness. I mean, there's better ways to put that, I'm sure, but I guess I get what he's saying, that obviously we are ignorant of a lot of things. It's not we choose to be stupid, nor necessarily choose to be ignorant. When you're ignorant of something, that means you don't know about it until someone tells you, and then at that point you can say, you know, you choose to be ignorant. But we're ignorant of things because we don't know. Kind of like most people who live in this world don't know about Brahman or the true self because they think that they are the mind, the brain, the mind, and that these emotions they don't have control over. These feelings they don't have control over. They don't have control over their body because they don't know, or they choose not to know. To say that people are ignorant and to absorb that ignorance, to get them out of that ignorance, okay, yes, but to absorb their stupidness is like
That's why a Guru is essential. And for those who practice great Guru devotion in the past, they have achieved. If you read almost on this biography, many great masters. And for those who fought, ran away, there's no biographies on them. Why? Why do you want to read about a disaster? Why read about someone who torments or fights or go against someone that cares about them? It doesn't happen.
So can we say that when you start the mind transformation, that leads to bodhicitta, which leads to when Guru devotion arises for the sake that you can practice Vajrayana so that you can become enlightened faster?
You got a little off. You had to practice Guru devotion from the beginning to even gain bodhicitta. The mind transformation comes from the Guru, from the beginning. And mind transformation doesn't automatically lead to bodhicitta. It depends on the path you engage in. If you engage in the path of Mahayana, yes. If you engage in the path of Hinayana, no. But Hinayana must lead to Mahayana. Mahayana must lead to Tantrayana. They're all interconnected. But it doesn't, but because it's interconnected, Hinayana does not lead to bodhicitta. It leads to the practice of Mahayana, which leads to bodhicitta. That's why you call it Hina, lesser, Maha, greater. And that's not a term Tibetans coined, that came from India itself.
So in Hinayana and Mahayana, both also Guru devotion comes in first. But it's more
pronounced in Mahayana because the practice is more intense and it's more severe and it's more concentrated and it's faster. Example, if you go to a gym and you do weights, if you do very light, easy weights, you don't need a trainer. If you can do very heavy ones, you need a spotter or a trainer if you don't hurt yourself. So Hinayana is doing very valid practices, but there's no practice that is that dangerous. You know, it's not dangerous, it's not like, you know, because in Hinayana, it doesn't state when you can become a Buddha. But in Mahayana, it states 3 things. But Hinayana leads to Mahayana. So Guru devotion or Guru practice, correct practice, is quintessential for your path to become a Buddha.
I'm curious about people who are in India who understand this Hinamaya, or what was the terminology he was using? Oh, there, Hinayana and Mahayana. Is it true lesser and greater? I've never heard these words, and also guru devotion. Again, things that I'm very unfamiliar with. I've never heard Acharya Prashant, Sadhguru, Swami Sarvarpyananda, Swami Tadatmananda, Swami Chinmayananda, or even Osho talk about guru devotion. This is the first I've heard of it. Obviously, you should pick a guru that I think that you believe to be, that you understand very well. Because if you understand that guru very well, you'll they'll be able to teach you a lot easier than if you find a guru that you don't quite understand. But also, I've heard that a guru chooses their students, and not the student chooses their guru. So again, guru devotion. I get that you want to follow a specific guru because you want to have a very consistent learning. I get that, but it seems a little bit different when he's saying guru devotion. It's almost as though you must accept everything from your guru and not question it in some degrees. But again, I don't know if this is his particular path, Tibetan Buddhism. Again, I've not really studied on that one, but let me know. Is Hinayana and Mahayana lesser and greater? And what is it saying towards this end that the Mahayana is a quicker path? It's kind of weird, I will say, to say the quicker path, because you shouldn't be rushing it. You could be missing out on a lot of things. And like he said, the analogy he gave at the end about the weights, where if you're doing light weights, you don't need a spotter or a teacher. And which very much so. And then if you do the Mahayana, where you need a teacher, a guru devotion, I suppose, and then obviously you will. I guess it does make a little bit of sense, but I guess it all depends on the person too. Like if you're able to absorb things quicker. But again, I don't think that should be your mindset. That, oh, I need to get there quicker, therefore I need to take the Mahayana class. I think it should be taken as a slow path and absorb it, because if you're trying to rush it, if you're not that kind of person who can absorb information really quickly, then you're just doing yourself a disservice, I believe. It's kind of like, I guess, the analogy, going to a if you're an average student, making good grades, but you're not like taking extracurricular activities, you're not acing everything, you're not studying all day until the exams, and then all of a sudden you get accepted to an Ivy League college where there's like just constant work every day, you're gonna flunk because you're working at a different pace. I think the Hanayana would be, I guess, more acceptable to a lot of people, but there are going to be some exceptional people out there who can take the accelerated class, you could say. But let me know, is that what that means? Hanayana and Mahayana? Lesser and greater. Anyways, that's my reaction. So if you want to achieve anything extraordinary in Tantra, I guess the whole point of this one is guru devotion. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.